On the card, you'll see you have two cards in your um, in the hymnals, and we're going to start with "Let There Be Peace on Earth." And the half page that is not yet laminated, called the Principles, will need that too. So I see some new faces, so let's make sure you have some little understanding ahead of time. But right now we'll stand and sing "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Thank you, and you can be seated. I begin with our invocation. Thank you, Creator Source, for bringing us all together. And as we come together, we open our hearts in gratitude for this space, this opportunity for friendship and connection with each other. And with this, we say thank you. Take a moment to take that in, what we have here and what we have as humanity on this profoundly beautiful earth. And our intention with our church, we are fortunate to have a variety of speakers for Sunday services. By using guest speakers, we gain wisdom from all those who share. This is a church where we can worship the God of our own understanding, a place to experience joy and be uplifted, a place where we can gain strength and inspiration to share with all we meet throughout the week. We invite all of us to join in this celebration of life, to nourish our spirits, and to enjoy the company of each other, our kindred souls. Blessed be. We're going to sing another song.
Number 206.
206.
This is my song.
Finlandia.
Yeah.
We love this song. We're going to stand up and sing. And you can be seated. And now you will find both your card and your half page. And we're going to read together our principles, which are just that, principles that any one of us may align with or not. We do not have a dogma in this church. However, open our hearts and read what appeals for us and fits. We're going to read the principles together. We believe God is the eternal source and creator of all and is present in everything. Our eternal soul, endowed with free will, grows through many lifetimes. Communication occurs between the physical and spiritual worlds. Prayer and meditation strengthen our connection to the divine. All healing comes from Source. Seeking this for ourselves and compassion for others' suffering is the highest priority. Because we are all one, what we do unto others, we do unto ourselves. The choice of love is always open for every soul. Living these principles leads us to grow in divine love. Leads us to grow in divine love in our hearts. Now on the prayer card, the affirmation, church affirmation. We're going to read this together, folks. We totally accept the belief that God is in charge of the affairs and direction of Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. We know that as our thoughts of trust and joyful anticipation join in harmony with the thoughts of all members of this fellowship, we attract the right ministerial leadership to our spiritual community, and we are grateful. Thank you. Now, my friends, we're going to turn to our healing bowl. As we all know, and many of us have felt, it's awake, it's alive 24/7. Anytime we can place a prayer in our hearts into the bowl. However, we also have paper there if you ever want to write one down and put it in the bowl. That works just fine. We did a renewal ceremony, a burning ceremony to refresh the bowl and have a new beginning on New Year's Day. And we probably will keep doing that from now on. We've done it occasionally in the past, and it's something we're renewing. People, we're going to do announcements first. I forgot. So we're going to turn to announcements. And my first announcement is today is our Spirit Connection Sunday. And we do this once a month. And we have a channel to connect us with our partners in spirit, many of whom have been members of this church in their physical lives, going way back to 1913 when we began. And our ancestors are there. And many others people are joining, or beings are joining this group in spirit that come, and really we're told, attend our services. I guess pretty frequently or maybe all the time. And Barbara is out today. She had to bow out because her voice is gone today. And she is our usual channel. She's been a channel since she was 17, started, it's about 60 years ago, or 50 years ago, and she wasn't a professional right away, but she's done it her whole life. However, we have our dear Emily Christenson has come down from Two Harbors, and she's here with us once a month, and she is also leading the workshop this afternoon. So we thank you for bringing your mediumship to this Spirit Connection Sunday. And that will then proceed into her workshop today at 12:30. We're going to gather up here by 12:15, 12:20, and she will teach us some more about mediumship and explain some about the astonishing school she attends. She's just been really in intensive study very, very recently now. She'll share that. And then a spirit will guide her. There'll be a few readings that come through, and we will have more to come of workshops with Emily from a variety of her skills as we go forward in the months ahead. So that's today. And I want to introduce our church in a little more formal way. As I mentioned, we started in 1913 as a spiritualist church here in Duluth, and we have been continuous ever since. However, in the 90s, we changed our name. We changed our name to Interfaith instead of Spiritualist, and it was initiated by our pastor, who was beloved beyond words, here decades and decades, I want to say 50 years, when he retired. And now, of course, he's up there with our partners in spirit as one of them. And so we have come at this place in the 90s. We went on our own to respond to the fact that the Rev, as we called him, was not only a spiritualist minister, which meant he was a very excellent medium. However, he also was very Christ consciousness centered. And that is a combination that we could not find as a community, as a pastor, to replace him. So it was at that time the decision was made that we would lead ourselves. And then, as happened with many churches, we began to be smaller in our numbers. And so we looked recently, post-COVID, during COVID, at becoming a unity church, because that would be a name that would help draw people to our church, because there is no unity church north of the Twin Cities. And we ended up studying that for about 2 years and voting no. We voted yes to being more of ourselves, to being more of who we have the intention and the capacity to be, as a metaphysical place that welcomes all faiths and is led by our own hearts for the divine and the God of our own understanding. So that's who we are. And we're led by a board of trustees, and I am the president of that board right now. My name is Carolyn Sheets, and we have 7 other, we are a group of 8 who are dynamic and committed to growing into this Aquarian time in all the new ways and all the opportunities that we have before us. And we are growing. We are renewing, capital R. So that is that part of the introduction. And now I want to also announce that we have another burning ceremony coming up on the full moon of the 23rd, which is Tuesday after next Sunday, for attracting like-minded people to our community. And we were guided by Spirit to do this 3 times on full moons. So this is our 3rd time. The blizzard stopped us in March. We're completing in April, and we will do more as we go forward. We can feel the power of the burning ceremonies. And next week, our speaker is Jim Barrett, who is a fairly new member of our growing community, and he will speak on energy and his path with growing in energy. And it's been a long path, and that is who we will have next week. He's going to be giving me a title tonight. So we'll have a title. Yeah, that'll be in the email, and the email mostly directs you to our website, which is growing. And so I encourage you to stay in touch with the website. And the final thought is that raising our frequency is something that we're more and more aware of as individuals. And so that is something that we can all hold in our hearts now. And we are intentionally attracting ideas for us as a community for raising our frequency and understanding more about our role in the cosmos, way beyond Earth, as the lights that we all are, and as humanity as it is, as becoming one more and more. Now, with those announcements, are there anybody else with an announcement before we go into our prayer bowl? Okay. Is that something? No. That was just a movement. And so now, my friends, with our prayer bowl, I turn to you and I ask, who has any requests for prayers today? And I will ask you to come up to the front, and you can speak your request for a prayer.
Hi. Continued prayers for Harley Blake. I believe it was last Monday. He had a hip replacement. No fun. And then Barbara Dents. I talked to her and her son Gary, his funeral. It's going to be at the Vineyard Church, April 25th. And visitation, 3 o'clock, service at 4 o'clock. It will be streamed on YouTube. She asked for me to please pass this on. Thank you.
And so I think we'll figure out how to put that down in writing, so that we can put it on the welcome table downstairs. So any of you could take a picture of that and get the information on attending the service, either in person or on Zoom. You'll probably be able to look into that. And does anybody else?
Laura asks for continued prayers for Sarah Arjun for her cancer, dealing with cancer. And then I would like to ask also for Lita for healing for her sciatic pain, which is in her right leg, which is continuous. So any prayers for that would be welcome.
Continued prayers for my sister Molly, who's going through her chemo journey. We had a very nice long walk yesterday, and she is like out walking me by miles. So she's doing well. She's got a positive attitude. She's moving forward. She's doing what she has to do, but let's hope that the poisons that are being put in her body, that they don't kill her. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Prayers for my daughter Kathleen. It doesn't look like it's cancerous or anything, but they found like a lump in the mammogram, and it looks like it's probably just fine. But just a prayer for her, because it's emotionally upsetting too, as a young mother. And a prayer for my other daughter, our relationship, my older daughter Azure, because I don't approve of her boyfriend, the guy she's going out with, and my prayer is that he doesn't get between us in our relationship, and that our relationship can just grow stronger, and that I can just learn to deal with accepting her own choices.
And her name again?
Azure.
Azure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lucy. Then, as always, Mother Earth, Gaia, all of us, humanity, and all of our community of nature, which is pretty much makes two, and that's who we are. And then we want to make it three, maybe because of Gaia's soul, so that we grow in our love and our gratitude and our compassion for this process we are in on Earth, and for the honor that Gaia has bestowed on us to bring her beings with her, not let a planet die and be reborn. This has never been done, as we know, in the universe, in history, in any whatever we call time. So we are called to greatness. We are called to each other. Blessed be. And now we will sing In the Silence, number 70.
74, in the silence.
And then we will be following that with a few moments of silent prayer. And then we will have our healing meditation led by Steve Plaza today. And then we will have Emily's role step forward as for doing mediumship today. Let us pray. Blessed be. We will have Steve come up.
beautiful. Thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed that calming. I'm not sure which mic I'm supposed to be at. I think I'm over there. Can you help do the passing along, Carolyn, when we need? Okay. Sue will. Okay. So let me. Can you hear me in this one too? Okay. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Let me take a sip. I just spent the last 2 days traveling with my friend Spring and mediumship student. We went to Green Bay to see another medium do a demonstration similar to what I'm doing, and I love to see different people's ways of that. But I really did figure out that in 7 hours in the car and all days talking about it, I have no limits of talking about mediumship. It just keeps flowing. So I'm just completely, I'm really grateful for that. I could talk about mediumship connection, seems like indefinitely. So that was wonderful. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I know I've seen some of your faces before, and then there's some new people, so welcome. I am a evidential medium and a spiritual healer, and I love to work on my craft, and I've had this opportunity to practice my demonstration of mediumship, which would be to a big group. And for 7 years, I've been very comfortable working one-on-one, and this really gets me out of my comfort zone and able to connect with more people at once, which is wonderful. So I will be practicing that, and as some of you know from before, I kind of can't ask who can come. I'm just aware of who will come, and through my statements, that's how I kind of narrow down who this is for. And what's most important to me at this point of learning is making sure I'm with the right person. So really listen to the things I say. If I feel like I have a man and he worked as a banker and I feel this is his grandfather, and someone says, well, my grandfather was a car salesman, that's just the same, and it's really not. So I'm trying to focus with that. So listen to what I'm saying. Not that everything is perfect. Of course, it's almost like a radio station where what I'm receiving is all coming through my subconscious, and it's one click this way, it's perfect, and one click this way, it's a little. So I need to focus through that. But we will be passing around the microphone for you to kind of connect with me, and I'll ask if it's okay to work with you. And I'll hopefully get as many of your loved ones today as I can. Just hold the intention that love that you have for those in spirit are always with you. And my hope is that through these messages that they bring stories of their life and rejoice in their life, different aspects of them, different things that are meaningful to both of you, that also the whole group can be uplifted by these messages. So, okay. Let's see, yeah, and we'll be, Sue's got the mic, right? Okay. All right, so give me just a second here. Let me see who wants to come first. Okay. I do have a female here with me, and I do believe she made it to an older age, so she's definitely, I would say 70s, 80s for sure, and she feels like a mother to me. So somebody's mom here, and I feel like personality, there's this, compassion with her, and I actually feel kind of a strong faith within her. So she would have had a strong faith herself. Let me see if I'm drawn to anyone in particular, or if I need to get some more evidence here. And then as I'm working, I might get drawn directly to one of you or throw out a bunch of information here. I don't know, I am kind of drawn on this side, but can I talk to you in the back there with the dark? Yep, you. Her, back there. Far back row. Just checking. Is your mother in spirit?
She is. She came through last time.
Did she really? Okay. Were you sitting somewhere else? I can't remember. So this is what I mean, I can't control. Let me just check with that. So your mother would have been older, and would she have had that faith?
Yes.
Okay. And I cannot remember which mom I had before. So if I do say the same information, let me know, but I'm going to definitely ask her to speak of something different. And she keeps showing me her hands. So her hands, physically, I know that they were, changed from when she was vibrant, but would you have memories of her talking about her hands or always rubbing her hands, kind of things like that?
Yes. So she had a nervous habit of twirling her thumbs around each other.
Okay. I just want to, pay attention to that. And then her faith would have been strong. So I feel like there is a religion that she was part of and that was very strong with her.
We went to church on a regular basis.
Okay,
so.
okay. All right, let me see where she's going with this. And I'm kind of in my head because I'm trying to remember what it was last time and to not to go there. But let me just see where she's going. So obviously, your mom doesn't mind speaking in front of a group or needing to be heard. I would say that. Would that make sense with your mom? These hands, though. So towards the end of her life here, I do feel just she would have been older and slowing down, but it's like inside of herself, she still wants everything to be a certain way. Would that make sense with Mom? It's not very evidential there. She would kind of have demands or needs that she needed done, even though it was hard for her to do it herself. Can you understand that?
I think so.
Okay. And I think I'm just going to check with everybody else that if I'm not with the direction, a mother that would have been in her 80s and would have had a very strong faith here. Can anyone else understand that with Mom? A couple yeses? Couple, yeah? Okay. Let's just see where it goes, and let me ask her for some more evidence here. It's almost like I keep going back with her hands. So physically, I just feel she's saying her skin was thinning, and maybe she started to, it was easier for her to get injuries, things like that. It's like she's making me aware of her body changing and you needing to be mindful with that. Would that make sense with your mom?
So my mom was somebody who I think would have really benefited from alternative medicine. I think she had a lot going on that allopathic medicine just couldn't figure out.
Okay.
So what they did is they just kept prescribing her more and more meds.
Mm-hmm. And did that cause like skin issues or like her body? I just want to keep holding her hands too, and I think you would have a memory of holding your mom's hands here, and like noticing or her pointing out to you how her body has aged. And I don't know if this is at her passing or just with her at another time.
Yeah,
You don't have
that
that
one
memory?
doesn't.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with that there. Can anyone understand a mom with a strong faith, and you would have a memory of holding your mom's hands and noticing just the thinness of her skin and maybe even her pointing that out to you? Just kind of raise your hand so I can, both of you guys? Okay. Okay. Just keep that in mind, and I'll kind of work with all three of you. This is why this is good for me to practice. And her faith, what she said about needing to have things a certain way and kind of demanding that of you, would that make sense with both of you guys as well? Okay. I do feel like she's showing me bobby pins and you know, those little metal things that you would put in your hair. I think as she was younger or around her home, there would have been a number of these bobby pins. And it's almost like when you're helping remove things from her home, it's like, Mom, how many of these do you need? You know, they're just like all over. Can any of you understand that?
Yes, I can.
All three of you? Okay. And I know that with these bobby pins, she would have had a hairstyle that used these, you know. And she's showing me almost like 60s time here. I'm just checking with the bobby pins. There's not a name of Bobby, is there, with any of your moms? Bobby? I'm stretching out. Okay. So all of you can understand finding a number of these bobby pins at her home and holding them? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Do you still have, you would have these yourself, or you also use bobby pins in your hair? You do? You've got one right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, Mom, there's still three. Well, I'm still kind of taken to her bathroom here. So I feel like it was, and I can't control the evidence. I'm trying to still find my person, but I appreciate this. I feel like her vanity or her bathroom would have had old wooden drawers that didn't quite shut completely, like, or it's not flowing. It's almost like they're hand built, and she would have had lots of memories opening these older wooden doors. So maybe this is a older home, and I feel like you would know that this is an older bathroom, and there's kind of these wooden doors that don't quite shut with her bobby pins here. Does that make sense for one of you, any of you? Don't remember? She was a beautician. Okay. Would she have had vanities and drawers that were wooden and kept these things in there? Okay. Can you understand that with the wooden vanity?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The fact that she made me aware of the bobby pins makes me want to talk about her hair. So I'm going to still just figure this out here. This faith that she brought in feels like she would have lived her life almost with this faith, and it feels more like an organized religious belief, like Catholicism is what it feels like. So would you understand that with your mom? Does that make sense with your mom?
We were Lutheran.
Lutheran, okay. I don't know if I should pick. Can we switch the mic to Sarah there? And I do know her just to tell you guys, but this bobby pins, would you have memories of her just like having all of this hair products still, or like hair things through her life, and if it was because she was a beautician, and in her bathroom at home, was it it was an older home that your mom had, and it feels like she's like trying to get these drawers open. Okay, so her. Her home to her felt like it was very important to her, and it's like she would have lived there for a very long time. So would your mom have built her home or lived in her home for a number of years? She built her home. Does that still make sense with your mom? She did build it? No. Okay. My dad built parts of it. Okay. And okay, let me just stick with the building this. And I feel like, okay, I think this is your, okay. This work that she did, so I do feel like a lot of the, most of her life, she didn't have a normal, like a stable job. Would that make sense? So she was at home, or maybe after you guys were older, she stayed at home most of the time?
Well, her life was not stable, but her work was stable, and then she retired and
Okay.
never left home.
Okay, so after she retired, she would have stayed at home and not wanted to do much. I'm being like drawn to just needing to be at home, and almost like a anxiety about losing her home. So would she have had almost like some sort of a scare, or like, how am I going to stay here, or something like that? You understand that?
I can understand that. She had to leave her home.
She did have to leave her home.
Near the end of her life.
Okay. And did she really fight you on that, or tried to stay at home? Like, it was like, this is my home, and she keeps showing me back to these drawers, and okay. So I do feel like she's coming with this I think she's coming with a message of just sticking to your guns for some reason, and just sharing her like stubbornness a little bit. Was your mom stubborn? Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And just like with this drawer that she couldn't open, but it like housed her things and kept her things. I know she's connecting with you with your home, and kind of the newness and the finding your place in this. Do you have some of her things that you've brought to your home of hers?
A few.
You do? Okay. And you don't have any hair products, do you? Like bobby pins. Yeah, I know. I don't think you have any, I don't feel that you have any issues with losing your house, but I just want her to like get her message through about making it yours, and she's very particular about her bobby pins here in her hair. Was she always adjusting those? Do you remember when she was younger, or trying to do your hair that way?
Well, I mean, it was I think it was what she loved, was, being this person that did everyone's hair.
Yeah.
She was very concerned about her own appearance, and was always put together, very well put together.
Did she actually do some of this out of her home, this work, ever? People would come to her home and she would work on their hair?
Well, I mean, they lived above it. It
Okay.
was yeah, so
Okay.
essentially.
Okay. And she's making me aware of like a photo of her, and she feels young here, and she has kind of, that curl underneath, and her hair's very done, and it's like, I think you maybe have recently looked through these photographs or brought them with you, and you connect with Mom and her understanding of all points of her life, like not just at that time when her hands were, older and different, but seeing that vibrancy. She wants to come with almost like, I'm young too, and I'm not just who I was at the end here. And really just, I think, congratulating you on the home and finding your place of beauty, I think, and discovering what you love to do for your work. So have you been struggling with that and trying to decide what your place is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I feel like it's going to be at home, connected with that. So, perfect. Okay, I'm going to thank her and leave her with her love, but truly kind of a message to even the little things, these little bobby pins that are left behind are just little ways to remind you of what brought joy to others. So I'm going to thank her. Okay. And then that was the time.
I'll speak on your microphone. Because of the time and because we've stacked ourselves with a workshop next, we're almost 11:30, folks. So that was, really it was a beautiful example of what you're learning, and also the ultimate huge message that Sarah received. And thank you all. I know it's disappointing to have to stop now, but this is the timing. Does that feel okay? Yeah. So you feel free to, let's just sit. Let's have a round for Thank you so much. More to come at the workshop, and I'll let you bye. And now, folks, we would have our offering as we open our hearts. We open our hearts and our inner voice for what we can give of our time, our treasure, and our talent to our sturdy little church that has brought us all together here. Jim. Okay. All right. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
And you hold the microphone, okay?
Okay, be glad to.
And I would like you to please say a prayer for us of gratitude and sort of short.
And what?
Sort of short.
Okay.
Sort of a short prayer.
Short prayer.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, it's great to have everyone here because we're all spirits of the universe. And that's where we'll get to go when we leave here. We will go out to a place of spirit that you will find just like the most gracious thing in the world. And you will see angels, and you will have time of spirit to connect with that spirit that you are too with everything. And so the light, compassion, and love that you are, that we all are together. We gather together in light, compassion, love, and peace and joy of our spirit that we can feel with ourselves and each other. Open your heart and your mind to be the spirit that you always have been together with each of us. Amen, amen, amen.
Thank you, Jerry. Just wonderful. And now, my friends, I will bring us our benediction. And it is a poem you've heard a couple times before. I will not live and I will not, let me see, I will not die an unlived life. Donna Markova. Dear people, in our hearts, I will not die an unlived life. I will not live in fear of falling or catching fire. I choose to inhabit my days, to allow my living to open me, to make me less afraid and more accessible, to loosen my heart, until it becomes a wing, a torch, a promise. I choose to risk my significance, to live so that that which comes to me as seed goes next to blossom, and that which came to me as blossom goes on as fruit. Blessed be, amen. Thank you, Source Creator, for this time. Let's come to the front to have our circle and our last song. If you feel like you want to bring the card, you can.